With Project Galaxy in full swing, Starfleet Command would turn its attention to creating smaller starship designs which could bring the Federation closer together. And in 2352, the Phoenix class would be born. But what do we know about this tiny yet important starship design? Well, today we'll find out. Hello and welcome to another episode of Truth or Myth Beta Canon, a Star Trek web series that dives into the history of any given topic using beta canon sources and my own imagination to fill in the gaps. In today's episode, we're taking a look at the Phoenix class, whose successor was first seen in Season 3 of Star Trek Picard to better understand its place in Star Trek history. Please note, though this is part of the design lineage of the Eleos seen in Star Trek Picard, this video is actually on the predecessor to that refit design. Knowing the class's history, I kit-bashed this 3D model together to give it a 2350s feel, so I could tell this story and hope you all enjoy what I've done with the design. And worry not, in the new year I will be revisiting the Phoenix class with a video on the refit version that the Eleos was part of. Also, I want to take a moment to wish you all a happy new year. As always, you've made this channel such a special experience for me, and I want to thank you all for that. But of course, and as always, because this is just a beta canon video, all information relayed should pretty much be taken with a grain of stardust and only considered a little bit of Star Trek fun. And so, with all that out of the way, let's begin. The mid-24th century was a very different time for the United Federation of Planets. With the peace treaty between the Federation and the Klingon Empire bringing these two disparate galactic governments together in friendship, and the Romulan Star Empire still in their self-imposed exile behind their neutral zone border, Starfleet Command had undergone a radical shift in starship design policy, now focusing all their energy on creating massive starship designs to explore the final frontier. And by 2350, with Project Galaxy in full swing, Starfleet Command would begin to turn its attention to much smaller starship designs that would be able to relieve some of the mission duties currently assigned to larger classes. Small personnel transfers and cargo duties would oftentimes be assigned to what were considered to be starships of the line, taking them away from their much anticipated scientific studies and endeavors. So Starfleet Command created a special starship design team to build an entirely new class of starship that was small, but also fast, comparatively speaking. And what would be presented to Starfleet would be an ingenious and also elegant solution to the problem that would see the powers that be grant permission for the immediate construction of a prototype, but of course, things wouldn't be that easy. The biggest problem with smaller starship designs had always been fuel storage and warp core power generation for that design. The more matter and antimatter a starship held meant less space for other facilities to be included within the class. And a small starship class would hardly be useful to anyone if they had to refuel every few days in order to travel at warp velocity. Captain Andrew Probert, a senior member of Project Galaxy's warp core development team, would come up with an ingenious solution no one had ever even thought of. A student of warp design history, Probert would suggest including an NX class-inspired warp governor within the design. And this innovative idea would allow this small starship class not only to travel at greater speeds than thought possible for a vessel its size, but also greatly extended the fuel consumption rate of the class. And with this primary issue resolved, in 2352, the Phoenix class would be born. Sitting at a length of 119.7 meters, the Phoenix class was designed to be operated by 13 officers and crew members. Containing a modified warp core based on the Project Galaxy warp core designs, the Phoenix class would have a standard safe cruising speed of warp factor 4.6, with an emergency maximum speed of warp factor 6 for 12-hour increments. However, due to the limitations of the design, the Phoenix class would not enter warp velocity like most Starfleet starships. Rather, the starship in question would have a power buildup sequence before transitioning to warp speed. This limitation would never be fully corrected within the design, although the power buildup sequence would be shortened during the lifetime of this class. In fact, many of the warp design elements of this class would be reworked and eventually included in the Danube-class runabout design, though those improvements would never make their way back into the Phoenix class proper. Tactically, the Phoenix class was equipped with 9 Type 9 phaser emitter arrays, and although not standard within the design, could have a torpedo launching system installed as well in the tactical variant of the class. The Phoenix class's shield systems would also be based on Project Galaxy technology, containing a standardized, high-capacity shield grid. 3 variants of the class would be designed with a hull paint scheme designed to match its function. The tactical or personnel transport carriers would receive a red paint scheme, pure cargo vessels a yellow paint scheme, while medical starships would receive a blue paint scheme. The Phoenix class would not contain any shuttle bays, though it would house a cargo complex facility as well as a specially adapted 4-person transporter system that could be expanded to transport the entire crew to safety during an emergency. The Phoenix class would also contain escape pods, which again could be used to evacuate the ship in the event of an extreme emergency. Overall, the Phoenix class would impress Starfleet Command and the Federation Council, so much so that the Federation Council would actually agree to provide vessels of this class to specially chosen civilian captains. Whether it was delivering much-needed emergency medical supplies from the Mariposa Medical Group, or crate after crate of self-sealing stem bolts to the Antares shipyards, the Phoenix class design would become a well-known feature within the Federation. But with the technological explosion after the Battle of Wolf 359 in 2367, suddenly classes such as the Phoenix seemed woefully out of date. And in an effort to keep the class relevant, Starfleet Command would authorize a research project into the viability of refitting the design, eventually leading to the Phoenix class refit. And although much improved over the previous Phoenix class design, being faster and far more powerful than anyone had thought possible of this design, by the early 2380s, Starfleet Command would discontinue construction on the class. And although many ships of the Phoenix class, both original and refit versions, would continue in service, by the turn of the century most would be decommissioned, with only a few privately owned starships of the class still spaceworthy and traveling the cosmos. Created as a starship designed to bring the Federation closer together during a golden age of scientific study, the Phoenix class would come to symbolize a bygone era of starship design, earning this class its underdog hero status in Starfleet and Federation history. Thank you for watching today's episode of Truth or Myth Beta Canon. What do you think of the Phoenix class and the historical narrative that I've created here? Do you want to see more videos like this one? Well, leave your comments in the section below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, hitting that little bell icon so you won't miss a single video we release. Again, I just want to take a moment to wish you all a very happy and safe New Year's. When we return after this holiday, we'll be beginning a brand new season for the channel, so I hope to see you then. Want to help the channel solve all the various small vessel warp issues for starship designs? Then consider becoming a channel member subscriber or a channel patron, both a major help that allow this channel to purchase resources and 3D models to keep it going. The link to both memberships is in the description below. Thanks again for watching, live long, and prosper.